Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your no Shorty, and today it's The Man from Maybe. Like that title, really do. It leads quite nicely into the fact that it's a Western. That is a brilliant title for a Western. This is a sci-fi Western, quite specifically sad cowboys in space. One of my favourite little subgenres. I was at a comic convention last year looking to spend some of my hard-earned money, and one of the things I bought was a role-playing game called Orbital Blues because it was sold to me as sad cowboys in space. 100% going to get me on that one. Like, I've already got the Western horror games and a pure Western game I made myself. Sad Cowboys in Space. What's not to love? I mean, Firefly's fantastic, and when I say what's not to love, I mean Joss Whedon. He's not to love. But I still like the concept, I like the genre, and I like the idea of this one. I picked it up in spite of the artist, because there's some people out there who would absolutely adore Shaky Kane's work. The kind of people who probably would look at my comic book store and think it's not even a real comic book store, because I don't have that much Fantagraphics stuff on the shelves. But for me, there's a certain kind of artist who does this kind of art. And that's to say, it is kind of loose and it's kind of simple. It is bold, don't get me wrong. There's lots of bold line work and it looks very captivating. But it also is very simple to the point that you are either A, the kind of person who has never progressed beyond quite simple line work, or B, you have an absolute mastery of form and action and choose to maintain this style because you know that's what people are looking for. I am 97% certain that's what Shaky Kane is doing, because when you look at his form work, how he does characters, their physicality, their appearance, when they engage in combat, there is motion to it. He is a fantastic artwork, but it's a style which you're either going to like or you're not. Sadly for me, I am not a fan of this art style. I think there's other ways you can do stuff with simple line work that I've seen other people do, or even stylistic stuff which I've seen people do. Hell, Dwellings issue 2's turned up, and I really like that creepy, cute horror vibe they've got, with, again, very simple artwork. For me, this isn't quite what I want out of a comic book art, though. It doesn't land for me. I feel like there's opportunities to do better things, which aren't done because he's committed to a style. Now, if you like that style, you are going to like this, because the style does actually complement the story to a certain degree, because unlike most space westerns or horror westerns for that matter, when we have the crossover with the western genre, either the aspect of it is usually just folded into it. Again, we'll go back to Firefly. There's an awful lot of sci-fi stuff going on there, but for the most part, these are done in service of the Wild West style story that we're getting. In here, there is sci-fi elements which are purely sci-fi. They are not done just for the sake of making slightly more interesting western stories. They're not done because people run out of actual ideas to tell us cowboy stories about. They're done because there's cool sci-fi concepts here. Yes, there's also some quite nice takes where we're looking at colonization, because it's sci-fi, you're going to space on other planets or other Earths, and there's people coming to this planet, which is causing problems for people who live there who are white guys and definitely humans. And there's definitely some takes on, I'll say, colonization, and the racism inherent in that. But for the most part, it's two distinct aspects coming together in quite nice ways. When I say distinct aspects, I mean we do have sci-fi stuff, we have space exploration, we have problems with terraforming and radiation, we have sci-fi gadgetry, including prosthetic limbs which actually give them better than human abilities, and we have people in charge of it who are trying to basically reclaim or claim the land in a way that would be good for humans, but also making humans better for the land. This is a full sci-fi kind of thing, which doesn't really play into too much of the Western stereotypes. But there is Western stories in here as well. We do have, I'll say, the lone gunman, who is fantastic, the man from Maybe. Nobody really knows who he is or where he's from. He's from such and such, maybe. And I kind of like that idea. It's some really nice bit of writing when it's, oh, he's maybe from the high... I've heard he's maybe from the High Plains. Maybe. It's, yeah, I mean, the man from Maybe. Great title, great idea. And he's got a grizzled old partner who they've been together for a long time, and it's like the voice of experience, but the man from Maybe is still the sensible one. He's the one who knows what's going on, and he doesn't make silly mistakes, but he kind of puts up with his partner because obviously we've got a deep background there, and that's really cool that we don't get that like laid out for us. We have to kind of figure it out from inference. We have a sort of cattle rustlers, and lots of quite nicely thought out plans, the kind of thing I like from Wild West movies, where it isn't just about going into a gunfight, it's figuring out how to win the gunfight before you get there. And we have them basically going on a mission to protect people who are prospecting, which again, a huge part of the Wild West kind of thing. And then we have a whole bunch of people die, and it's into a revenge story with a young girl who has to go along with the older guy because she wants to get revenge for her family dying. It is all very much in the Wild West and the sci-fi kind of things. But rather, like I said, them like just eating each other story-wise, they are feeding each other. And I think that is the big difference and why it does stand out. It's not something I'm going to be picking up. Like I say, the artwork, I bounce off it, unfortunately. As much as I can see a technical value to what he's doing, it isn't something where I'm like excited to see the next issue. But if we get issue 2 in, if anyone else picks it up, I am almost certainly going to read it, because I do want to see where the story goes, and that should be a good enough reason to check this one out if such thing is in your wheelhouse. That's it for me today, though. A couple of extra things coming this week, so hopefully we'll be more than the one review this week. Until I see you again, though, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.